No dreams. No dreams. We're leaving no dreams behind, you guys. Every single person that's out here, welcome to Las Vegas, our international conference. And I can tell you, tomorrow lives are going to change. Things are going to happen that you have never been able to witness before. But what I get to do right now, first and foremost, I've got a little opportunity to share a little bit of a story. I'm also going to be able to do a little bit of a training here today. But before that, I want to start off by sharing with everybody that Mr. Stonecipher and the home office always comes up with incredible ways for us to get motivated. You know, because unfortunately, you can't motivate somebody. You got to find a way to attach to their internal motivational mechanism. You know, motivation comes from within. You can inspire somebody, but you got to find your motivation. Now, some of you may be motivated by what I'm going to share with you, and some of you may not be. Somebody, maybe you're a homebody. Maybe you don't like to ever leave your home. But for those of you that do, for those of you that like to go on vacations, how many people would like to go on a all expense paid vacation next year? For some of you that have been on the Players Club trips over the past several years, you know that some people enjoy themselves because they like to drink some cocktails. And you know who you are. Actually, you know what? Some of those people probably haven't made it to the event here yet today. Some of you guys like to go just because it's all the food you can eat paid for. And some of you all like to eat food a little bit more than me. I'm not, just saying. But what if you didn't have to pay for the airfare, the food, the hotel, the drinks? I mean, what if you could just go and be and relax and have fun? Well, we want to run a video clip to share with you what you can qualify for 2010. Roll the clip, please. I encourage everybody to go to the back office and pull the Cancun 2010 Players Club trip flyer. Just so you know, here we are in September, and nobody's ruled out. Nobody has missed the boat from the standpoint of qualifying for the trip. You can do it one of several ways. You can do it via being an executive director and a Players Club 10 qualifier. Even if you have not qualified executive director yet, you're here today as a director, manager, senior associate, brand new junior associate. You still have the ability to go out and start qualifying. You need 6 months between now and next spring to be able to get qualified as an ED and Players Club 10 qualified. Okay? In addition to that, even if you're not an executive director, you can just do it on sheer Players Club qualification points. So you want to make sure you pull up that flyer. And so what I want to shift to is my main reason for being up here is to kind of share kind of my story. Because what I love about what's going on at this convention is that Mr. and Mrs. Stonecipher wanted everybody here to be able to learn from and to be able to get inspired by and to know that it's possible by hearing the stories from the folks who have already come before us. You know, when I actually went to my first convention in Dallas, Texas, the reason why I came home and I went to work as hard as I did, I became non-negotiable, I became bulletproof, I went and I worked harder on this than I probably worked on anything in my entire life, is because I watched the people on stage and I said, you know what, they have what I want. Somebody else's stack is bigger than my stack. And it's not just about them having more money, but they also had more time freedom. They had more peace. They had more happiness. I was stressed out in my real estate career. I didn't have time freedom. I didn't have that perpetual income coming in, that residual income. So when I saw that they had what I needed, I said, I'm going to apply the notes. And by the way, I took notes. If you're not taking notes, you're making a major mistake. So I took notes, and when I went home to Maryland, I applied it on a daily basis in my business. I didn't just take the notepad and stick it on the shelf and never revisit it. You want to revisit it, and you want to basically put it into your business, in your daily activities. But anyway, my story before prepaid legal, actually, my background was in real estate. My brother got out of school in 91. I got out of school in 92. Instead of going out and getting jobs, we went right into our family real estate company. And my dad, back in the 70s, built one of the largest real estate companies on the East Coast. It's called Carruthers. He sold out to Merrill Lynch in 81. It was a huge operation. And my dad, because he worked very, very hard, he provided us an incredible lifestyle. I didn't have to want or need for anything. He bought me a car when I was 16, paid for a private school education, paid for my college, so I didn't have to work while I was in school. I just worked in the summer times, and just an incredible lifestyle. And in 86, he came out of his 5-year non-compete and opened the doors again, anticipating that my brother and I would want to join him in the business. And that's what we actually did. And we basically took his 4-office company at the time. We grew it to 24 offices, almost 1,000 agents, doing over $1 billion a year in sales, mortgage company, title company, the whole 9 yards. We had this huge operation going on. And we were doing well. I mean, I was in my mid-20s. I got to 6 figures pretty quick, but I had no time freedom. I was working 8 to faint, and I don't know if anybody here can relate to just being frustrated. But on top of the frustration, it was also a scary situation for me, because my father had his first heart attack because of the stress from building that traditional type of a business at age 32. And at age 38, he had a quadruple bypass. At 46, he had a double bypass. The doctor said that he wasn't going to probably live till 50. And then from there, he in his 50s, he actually wound up having additional problems. He actually had a stroke behind one eye and lost vision, and behind his other eyes, and now he's legally blind. He actually had cancer a few years ago, which they were successful in taking care of. Now he's got diabetes. I mean, it's just unbelievable. And the doctors all say it's not something that was passed down. It's not hereditary. It's something that he just brought on, but it's because of the massive stress. He wanted to do amazing things. He's first generation. His family did not have money, so he wanted to provide for us. And I admire him so much for so many things, not just about what he's done for us, providing a lifestyle, but he's just an incredible man. My brother has very much followed in his footsteps. At age 31, had his first heart attack and angioplasty, and a year later had another one. And getting phone calls from my mom crying when my dad had his heart attacks, and I was a little bit younger, and that was already hard. But then when you start getting phone calls in the middle of the night from my sister crying and saying, "Did you get a call from Mom yet? Tommy's on his way in an ambulance to the hospital. He's had a heart attack," and he's a year older than me. 31 years old, having a heart attack. I don't know if you guys can imagine. It doesn't make sense. I don't care. It's not about when I saw prepaid legal, I saw an opportunity for me to be able to go out and build a business, so that when I got married and I had kids, I'd be able to have the freedom to be able to call the shots and not to have that stress, and to be able to provide for my family, but to be there with my family, and not to ever have my wife or my kids get a phone call saying, "Dad is on the way to the hospital, to the emergency room." None of it's worth it. We see people dying in the news every single day, with celebrities, these people that we all know. Things are happening out there. You just never know. So it's humbling, but it also is something that I'm glad that I saw that early on. I'm glad I was able to recognize it early on, and I'm glad that I was introduced to prepaid legal. And I was introduced to this business by somebody who, thank God he did, but I haven't seen him in 10 years. I haven't seen my sponsor in about 10 years. I'm still very thankful. And he doesn't mind. He's made several $100,000s in overrides because he shared it with somebody that was way more excited about this business than he is. I mean, in my presentations, when I do my briefings now, I stole this concept from Dave Cibula. But I tell people, and from Darnell Self, I use the idea, hey, let's say you guys are all shy. Even if you're shy, you introduce somebody who's not shy. They go out and market memberships. You still get your overrides while you're home getting over your shyness. And I say, well, even if you guys are not even interested here in this room, what I'm sharing with you right now, it doesn't matter. This business is perfectly designed for uninterested people. Because even though you're not interested, you can share this information with somebody who is interested. They can go out and market those memberships, and you get your paycheck sent to your home while you're home being uninterested. You guys okay with that? And they're like, yeah, this is cool. I mean, I don't like what I'm hearing. I don't even like this guy, but I can get paid. Okay, I'll still sign up. But here's the thing, you guys. My point is that when I got started, I didn't have support. I didn't have support. My dad called me an idiot. My brother called me a moron, or vice versa. I don't forget. Anyway, they both called me one of those names, and it was hurtful. And I think it was Shawn Michael last night that said that he didn't want his father or his parents' support when he started to get it because it took away his drive. Sometimes, I was like, man, he just stole what I was thinking. I mean, because when my brother and my family and my parents and my friends started to recognize how much money I was making in this business, they turned from you're an idiot to you're a genius. And that was actually kind of cool to hear, but and I'm like, well, now what is going to motivate me? Because I loved the best revenge. The best revenge is massive success. Does anybody have anybody that's on your back? I mean, you got people that are like putting you down. You ever felt beat up, stepped on, spit on? Remember Revenge of the Nerds anyway. So, you ever felt like that? Well, guess what? You use that to fuel your fire. Use that to motivate you. That's going to inspire you to dig down and find out what really motivates you. So I didn't have the support. I got tons of rejection. I got probably more rejection than most people in here individually in this room. Matter of fact, I still get more rejection than most people because I'm still prospecting more people every single day. But I also, you've probably heard this before. How many of you all have ever heard somebody say, I'm in the NFL? I'm in the No Friends Left Club. I've already been in network marketing and all these different companies. How am I going to go out and talk to my friends about yet another deal? I've already tried to get them on a long-distance service. I tried to get them on skincare. I tried to sell them on vitamins. I tried to get them on juice. I tried to sell them a travel package. Now I'm going to sell them a legal plan? You've never heard that before? I mean, I have people all the time like, well, I was that. I did the long-distance thing. I was doing satellite TV. I mean, I was already pitching. And I look, and you all know me, I'm relentless. I like to say I'm pleasantly, persistent, okay? But I follow up. So I had already done that with 2 other businesses. So I'm going to come to them again with yet another business? What makes this one different? That's what they were saying. Guess what? They just basically gave me an opportunity to show them how this one was different. And some of the people you might lead off with the product and not just talk about another business opportunity. I should have share with them what this service will do for them. The other times I was just talking about hey, let me show you how to make money. So there's different ways you can attack that. But here's the deal. Whether you have no support, whether you're getting rejection left and right, whether you feel like you're in the NFL club, it doesn't matter. All these people up here that are walking across stage with platinums, they're all the same thing. We all have the same challenges. And stop wishing that you don't get challenges. Like Jim Rohn says, stop wishing for the problems to get easier. Wish for you to get better at solving them. Because when the problems disappear, the opportunity disappears. So the reality is that if you had, people say, well, I'm going to start this business when all my ducks in a row. Folks, ducks don't ever get in a row. Seriously. I mean, that's fiction as far as life. You might see some ducks. They do kind of get in a row, don't they? I know, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, they kind of do get in a row. But let me just tell you all this. They won't be in a row in your life, okay? So, see, I don't plan some of this stuff out. It just comes out. But my point is that don't wait for everything. There's never going to be a perfect time in the future. The perfect time is now. Because the window's going to close. And so I want everybody to understand that the challenges have to be there. Heaven forbid, some way you convince Harlan Stonecipher to talk to God and say, look, I want you to hook this guy up. This guy, he needs everything just completely cleared out of his way. Let's give this guy or this lady, give him no challenges. That's the worst thing in the world. Because if I took, Steve and I said, look, we're going to make it so that you're going to be the one associate in prepaid legal that has no challenges. The problem is I just killed his business. Because he might go out and sell every membership he presents, every recruit he recruits, and he's going to go out and just knock it out every single time. That's great. But the problem is when he goes out and builds a team, and they encounter the challenges, and they come to him and say, what do I do here? He's going to be like, oh, I don't know, go talk to Harlan and God. I mean, does that make sense? You need to learn how to adapt. You need to be able to learn how to solve the problem so you can teach your team how to solve. The people who are going to become legends in this business, I'm talking about making millions of dollars a year. Millions, not just 1 million. Millions of dollars a year. Are going to be the people who, number one, became the biggest problem solvers, and number two, created the most problem solvers. Now, here's the thing. It's something that you got to really think about. And again, this is not even in my notes. This is just, I don't know where it's coming from, but think about this. If you are good at solving problems, you can do some amazing things in this business. But which people in this business would you guesstimate are the best, are the people who have created the most problem solvers in their business? Ask yourselves, I don't care if you're a director, executive director, platinum ring earner, whatever. Are your people still calling you for all their problems? If they are, you're a great problem solver, and they know it, but they're not learning how to solve problems themselves. Delegate the problem-solving activity to them, and all of a sudden your business becomes self-sustaining. You can eventually retire, and your business will continue to flourish. Now, let me share with you guys what happened for me is I plugged into the system 150%. You might say, well, how do you do it more than 100%? It's not possible. Well, what is the system? They say for one of the core commitments to go to your weekly meeting at least every single week, one time. Well, I went to 2 of them a week. They say, well, get on every single conference call and listen to them every single week. Well, I not only got on the calls, I recorded them and listened to them again. When I went to a training, I not only took in the training, but I took notes and I went back and studied my notes over and over again. So that's kind of how I feel. You can actually go above and beyond 100% tapping into the actual system. So because I was tapping into the system never fails. People will fail. I have not seen one person in my career, not one person have I ever seen, that actually truly plugged into the system consistently and persistently over an extended period of time. Not one of them has ever failed. Now let me ask you a question. How long have you been personally consistent in this business? Think about that right now. How long have you been consistently plugged in and working your business? See, some of you all may have been in the business for 3 years, but you've only truly, from today backwards, probably have only consistently built your business over the last 3 months. Because 3 months ago, you went on like a 2-week vacation, you kind of fell out of pocket, your people couldn't reach you. So your time frame started over. It's like Players Club. Your time frame started over again. You've only been consistent for 3 months, not 3 years. You might say, well, I've kept my membership. I'm not talking about being active in the company's computers. I'm talking about you be consistently plugged in and building your business. I'm not going to be up here and pat my own back. That's not what I'm saying, but I want you to understand that I've been pretty much consistently plugged in and building my business since I joined the company. If I go on vacation, I not do vacation. I mean, I don't want anybody to think, oh, well, in order to make that kind of money, you've got to be always working. I go on vacations. And some of y'all know I really vacation when I vacation. But here's the thing. A lot of times I don't tell my team I'm even gone. Some of my team probably thinks, Brian he's always working. No, I just don't want everybody to think, oh, Brian's on vacation. Now I'm going to go on vacation too. Well, if you're going to go on vacation, just go. Don't tell anybody. Come back. Let the business keep on going. So, I want to talk about 2 things, tools and events. We talk about a lot, the events that, like PBRs, conference calls, the Super Saturdays, core trainings, national conventions. You got to plug into events. You need to promote events. I want to talk about how to promote in a second. You also want to use tools. The tools like the DVD, tools like the magazine, like the website, or whether it be a flip chart, presentation boards, whatever tools that you're using. You got to use the tools. It's always got to be third party. Always third party. Now, if you're just selling a membership, it's just you go out, sit down, do the If You're My Attorney story, using a brochure. Actually, you're actually using a tool there. You're using a brochure or using a flip chart, but you can verbalize the presentation, facts tell, stories sell, talk about what the services cover, work in a few stories, because the stories of how people have benefited using the services will sell, not the actual facts, not the titles. But you do the presentation on your own. If you're my attorney, how much would you charge me if I was a client? And they tell you a number. And any dollar figure they give you greater than 36, you win. I mean, when else in sales or marketing have you ever talked to where a customer tells you that you're not charging enough? It's like going into a Mercedes dealership and say, how much are you charging for this S550 Mercedes? They say 75. You're like, talk about 75. You should be charging me 150 for this car. Are you stupid? I mean, would anybody say you're not charging me enough? When you do a sit down in prepaid legal, and the only way you're not selling memberships is if you're not sitting down with people. People say, well, I can't even sign 5 people up. I'm like, well, have you showed it to 5 people? Well, no. I mean, you can't sign 5 people up if you haven't shown it to 5 people. So get out of your house. This is a home-based, not home-bound business. Get out of there and go talk to somebody. So you sit down with somebody and you do the presentation, you do the if my attorney story close, and any dollar figure, they usually tell you $500 to $5,000 is what they would charge if they were the attorney. You show them it's $36, it's a no-brainer, it's done. Assume the sale. Some of you guys are like, oh, so what do you think? What do you mean, what do you think? I don't want to know what they think. Do you like it? What are you telling me you don't like it? You get your application in the pen and you go, where do you want your membership kit sent? You look down, don't look up, and don't say anything until they actually start speaking their address. They'll talk. They don't like silence, just like you don't like it. So here's the deal. Selling memberships, all you need to do is just go out and do it. But on the recruiting side, which is what I've always focused on, nothing but recruiting. All I do is recruit. You always want to use third party. Now, you can play the DVD. You can have them watch an online video. They can come out to a presentation. But here's the deal. You're going to do the ushering, let somebody else or something else do the preaching, and you're going to collect the offering. And here's what I want you to understand. Even if you use a third-party tool, you still use a third-party closer. Your upline director, executive director, manager, whoever it is, as long as you edify them properly, they will have the clout, the credibility in the eyes of the prospect to be able to effectively close your person for you. Remember when I said, Steve would not want to have all his obstacles removed because then he would not be able to teach people how to solve their problems. Same thing. I don't care how great he is, and he is great. Platinum 7, you kidding me? I mean, he's one of the best in the industry. But I know he can sit down with this entire section right here, one at a time, and close all of you. The problem is, he'd have a huge front line and nobody on the second level because you all couldn't do what he did. Maybe one or two of you, but then that'll still break down the next generation away. So what you want to do is make sure that even as good as he is, he knows that he's got to do as he does unto his prospects, they're going to do unto their prospects. It needs to duplicate. So he knows that he's going to use the third party. He's going to get somebody else involved to answer the questions and to close them for him. And now what they saw that happened to them when they talked to their prospects, they're going to now use him to close their prospects in the same way. It's called edification. Now, here's the thing. And look, I don't want to get any more emails. I get emails from people saying, you don't understand the true definition in the dictionary of edification. I don't care what the dictionary says. If you're looking in the dictionary on how to build prepaid legal, you know why your business isn't growing? Webster never built a network marketing business, okay? So, edification, in my mind, is to build up the credibility of somebody else. So we're going to have a network marketing dictionary. We're going to come out in 2010, okay? Now, so you edify somebody else. If you learn how to edify properly, I'm talking about serious edification. You want your upline, and by the way, you don't use the word upline. We're talking, that's our vernacular, but when you talk to a prospect, you don't call them an upline. They're like, what do you mean, what's an upline? They don't know what that means. And it actually sounds like network marketing or multi-level marketing or pyramids or whatever their negative history is, okay? But you want to make sure that you edify them so much that upline expert walks on water and glows in the dark in their mind. Seriously, I mean, and if you learn how to edify, and we don't have time to train on this right now, but you just, I guarantee you, you ask your platinum on one of the next training calls, your team training calls to teach on edification, they'll do it for you because they know how important that is in this business. Now, the other thing I want to share with you guys is promotion. Promotion is everything. If you can get somebody to show up to a meeting, you'll sign them up. Would you guys agree that if somebody comes out to a business briefing, more than likely they're walking out amped up? Okay, let me try this again. See, watch this. So would you guys agree that if you bring somebody out to a briefing and they come there, they're going to amp up? Do you guys agree that if you actually have a briefing where people actually participate, the guests will actually amp up even more? So you guys are giving me training topics, and I have no time left to actually add into this whole mix. You're messing this whole thing up. So anyway, so promotion. How do you get the butts in the seats? How do you get somebody to sit in the seat to actually watch the presentation? Well, if you're talking to a prospect, always understand. You got to listen. You understand who you're talking to. And by the way, have tact. I've watched people. I've watched veterans in this business act like they're brand new. I can't understand it. Throwing up prepaid legal all over these people. You know what prepaid legal throw up looks like? Anybody who's not a prepaid legal associate in our lobby, look at them. They got it on them. Somebody threw up on them on prepaid legal already. Seriously, and you ruin it for somebody else that could have done it a tactfully right way. You don't be chasing people down the street. When I start a conversation with somebody, Prepaid Eagle doesn't even come up in the first 10 minutes of the conversation, if at all. All I want is their name and number so I can call them later on. Say, oh, by the way, I met you last week, or I met you yesterday. You seem like a really great guy. And by the way, I was talking to some of my business partners, and we're looking for a few more people that want to position themselves in front of a huge trend and make some serious money. I'm talking about a financial windfall. And I thought that as sharp as you are, you might know somebody that you might be able to kind of lead me to. I mean, that's how you approach somebody. You don't want to jam it down their throat. You act like you need them, they don't want it. You got something that they need. You know, I taught this to and some of you, how many of you all were at the advanced trainings yesterday afternoon? You already heard this, but, you know, I taught my son, and I'm learning to be a dad. He's 3 years old now. He just actually, three nights ago, after I already come here, the first night I was away, Haley calls me texts me the next morning and says that Talon actually climbed up out of the crib and fell and hit his head on the floor. We have carpet there. But he fell and hurt himself, and she walked in the room at 6 o'clock in the morning, and that's early for us, because we don't get up till 10:30. So, I mean, she was like, something must be wrong. She goes in, and he's standing in front of his crib crying. He actually climbed out for the first time. So we're learning how to deal with all this stuff. So now we're going to have to put him in a bed and have to adjust. But anyway, teaching him how to eat the right foods. You know, we all want kids to eat their vegetables and all that kind of thing, right? Well, I'm like, look, I'm going to, you know, do what I used to do in the dating thing. You know, if you act like you want a girl real bad, they don't want you. I mean, you act like you're not interested in them, they start coming your direction. So I'm thinking, all right, well, if I want him to eat broccoli, I'm going to try to trick him. So I'm like, you know, every time we had something like broccoli on our plate, I'm like, and he starts pointing at stuff. I'm like trying to feed him the junk stuff, and he's pointing at the broccoli. I'm like, oh, no, you can't have that. You can't have that. It's junk food. And so after I did that for a couple times, now he always says broccoli. I want broccoli. And so the other day, a few weeks ago, the babysitter comes in my home office, and Talon's crying in the other room, and I'm trying to focus on something. She comes in, and she says, you know, I got it, don't worry about it. And so Talon comes running, and he goes, you know, Asia is her name of our babysitter. Asia mean. She won't let me get junk food. No junk food. I want junk food. I'm like, you can have junk food. I said, you know, you can have junk food. Come here, let's get you some junk food. And Asia's looking at me like, what are you doing? I mean, I'm a babysitter. I know more than you about parenting. Watch this. I take him into the kitchen. I said, Talon, and he goes right into the pantry. That's where the pantry got we have too much junk food, honestly. But so he goes into the pantry, and right next to the pantry on the counter is a thing of bananas. And I grab a banana, and I said, you want junk food, Talon? He goes, yeah. I'm like, here you go. He goes, no, it's banana. I'm like, yeah, banana is junk food. You can't have this. You can't have no junk food right now. You can't have it. He goes, I want the banana. I'm like, okay, here you go. You can have half. What's my point? Well, I don't have a point. No, I do have a point. So my point is that people want what they can't have. If you're running after people about prepaid legal, they're going to run the other direction. You got to have a relaxed intensity. You got to have a posture that they should be begging us for information. Don't go to somebody and say, hey, Steve, let me borrow your car key. Let me borrow your car key. Thanks. Open up your case of DVDs. Here, pick one. No, there's no value if you have 100. Here, pick a DVD. They're valuable. No. You need to act like you got one and only one, and you're going to let them borrow it for a night because you got 18 people that you know that are begging to see it. Tell them that. Talking about also as far as prospects, and again, getting prospects out is one art of promotion. The other art is associates. You need to always talk about to your associates what's in it for them. WIIFM is their favorite radio station. What's in it for me? When you're trying to talk to your associates, you can't talk about what you want them to do for you. You know, you can't tell them why you need them to be at a meeting because you need to have bodies in the seat. People say, we need you to come out to the weekly meeting because we need support. Do you think you're going to motivate somebody to come out to support a meeting? That's always bugged me. A meeting holder goes, we need support. Come out and sit in the seats. No. They're not going to come out based on you wanting support for a meeting. We don't need dead bodies in chairs. You can go get stuffed animals if you need that. You want people that actually come out for their own reasons. To come out and get resold on the vision, to learn how to sell the vision, and to bring guests to recruit some new people into the business. So talk about what's in it for them. Why would they want to come to the meeting? Why would they want to get on a conference call? That's what we need to be doing is think about what we can do to give them their own reasons to do what we want them to do, what we know they need to do that's going to benefit them in building their business. So I hope that over the last 15 minutes, there's just a couple little things in there. You know what? I got to do this fast. do me a favor. You guys, don't mess this up, okay? You got it? Okay. I'm going to go through I want to show you what happens when people are actually out there prospecting, okay? These guys are my prospects right here, okay? What happens is, and by the way, tell me no, because I love getting rejection. So just tell me no. Hey, look, if I could show you how to make a way to make a lot of money, would you be interested in checking it out? Would you want to check out a business if I can show you how to make a lot of money? Would you want to check out a business if I can show you how to make a lot of money? You wouldn't want to get involved in the business, would you?
No, I don't think so.
Let me try this again. If I can show you how to make a lot of money in business, would you want to check it out?
I don't think so.
Would you want to check out this business? Would you want to check out a lot of... You don't want to get involved in business. What happens is, you guys, is that we start off all fired up. And we're going out and talking to people. And we're getting these no's. And all of a sudden, your posture, like, yeah, you don't want to get involved in business, do you? But John over here was dying for an opportunity to change his situation. He wants more family time. He would have been one of your next executive directors in your business. But you didn't allow yourself to get over to the yes because the no's knocked you out of the box. So here's what you got to think. Let's say it took you 10 prospects, 10 people to get one person to say yes. That's pretty conservative. 10 people to get one that says yes, I'm in. Well, do the math. Let's say you're just a senior associate and you're making $138. Let's make it 100. You make $100 when you get the yes. Do the math. If it takes 10 to get one yes and you make 100, you're basically making $10 every time, even if they say no. So now, do the same thing again. Watch what happens now. If I can show you how to make a lot of money in this business, would you want to check it out? Thanks, man. I just made $10. Next slide.
How'd you make $10?
Here's what's going to happen. Two things. Number one, it's going to allow you to get to the next person with the same kind of sense of passion and excitement to get to John and finally sign him up. But what happens a lot of times, if you think that, it'll let you get there. But more importantly, if you say it, you recruit him. You know what he's going to say? He'll watch this. He'll say, would you want to check out a business you can make a lot of money?
No.
Hey, thanks a lot, man. Ask me $10. They ain't letting you go. He's going to be like, oh, come here a second. You mean you just made $10? Did you hear what I said? I said no. I got a lot. Can I do this business? I can get a lot of people to tell me no. But it allows you to get to the no, to the no, to the no, to the no, and then you get your paycheck. So understand, some will, some won't. So what? Next. Have a great convention, you guys.